Well, hello, hello, hello. Much love to you all. May God bless you all. Smash that like button, share this out. And I have a few other things I'm going to talk about as we get to this. This was captured in Moscow. I do believe just today it was captured in Moscow, which is a really another amazing sign of. There's been many reports of people seeing two. This is the second time. I have one other video that there's been claimed to be three suns. So all we know is that this is a huge sign of the times and that redemption is drawing nigh. So here's the video. You'll get your people that continually try to debunk these things. People argue the Bible every day. People argue over the name of Jesus every day. So anybody wants to argue it, go cast your pearls to some other swine. So, I also want to say, please check this video out. The YouTube algorithm is not notifying people on it because it is to show you proof that God exists. It's a testimony. The algorithm hates that. My own mom said that she did not even get notified on this video, but she's got notified on every other video I've done. They don't want you to know the testimonies of what God is doing. And this is just a testimony of how God has been working through a non 501c3 ministry that has no funding from the government, how God is making a way in many ministries. And I just implore you. And before I go to the other news, this is a very huge study. I will be starting an hour earlier. Usually, when I go live on studies, I start at 7 p.m. Eastern. This will probably be a 2-hour study about the armor of God and spiritual warfare. This is a very key Bible study to join into. And then Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern, we have Mark chapter 5. So these are very, very key. So now I'm going to go through some more of the news. There's fears growing over an all-out Middle Eastern war involving Iran, Israel, and the U.S. In the last week alone, Israel has killed a senior Hamas militant in an airstrike in Beirut. Hezbollah has struck a sensitive Israeli base with rockets. The United States has killed militia commander in Baghdad. And Iran-backed rebels in Yemen have traded fire with U.S. Navy ships. Been going on for quite some time. Guys, I even gave a word towards the end of last year that we are going to see an increase of war. And we will see an increase of war because we are in that day and time that it is said. You can go and read the full report on this. I don't want to touch too much on things. I would just want to give you the headlines of it and to not focus on it because Christ needs to be your focus. That needs to be the primary focus here. So, record rainfall leads to widespread flooding, evacuations in Victoria, Australia. Very huge floods been going on throughout here. We're seeing 4.9 inches of rain on January 7th, breaking a 120-year daily rainfall record. The flood levels have reached are expected to reach up to 376.6 feet by early Tuesday, January 9th. That's tomorrow, which they're probably almost to tomorrow. I think they're about 12 hours ahead. So it's about 11 o'clock at night. They're almost to tomorrow. So they're expecting a really huge level of floodwaters here. And it's expected to break the record that they had back in 1993. So, guys, 7 inches in 24 hours, more than 3 months worth of rain in just 24 hours. They don't get that much rain usually. So we see 4.6 inches in 24 hours in Redesdale. We see that it was setting a new record in many areas around here, setting new records, guys. There's a lot of signs going on. We also see that a rare tornado hits Greece. A rare tornado Sunday, January 7th, hit in Greece. Here's some of the pictures of some destruction that happened. There's not much reports on this, just that some homes had some fascia destroyed. Businesses had some minor destruction, but this is a rare tornado. And also, this is key too, because as there's been floods in some of the farms in northern Germany, now that freezing temperatures are hitting, you can add on top of the flood that it can freeze over. And this is talking about, farmers, man, they have a really difficult job. They have to put, it's a year around, even when you're not planting in the winter. You have to prepare the ground for the next year. How can you prepare when you have massive floods that might freeze over? So this picture of what we're seeing from it. Look, the root of the recent devastating floods lies in historical alterations to the landscape, particularly the draining of 70% of the wetlands along the rivers, as noted by this guy. These changes, coupled with the straightening of waterways, have accelerated the flow of water downstream, overwhelming regions in minimal time to react. There's a lot going on in the world, so that's why I'm trying to implore people. And the blood's off my hands when I say it. YouTube's not going to notify you. They're going to notify you when I say a massive storm in Florida. They're going to notify you when I put prepare yourself for what you're about to see. They're going to notify you about what the media doesn't tell you. They're not going to notify you that proof God exists. They're not going to notify you about spiritual warfare. They're not going to notify you about demon-possessed men healed. They're not going to notify you about these things. They're not going to notify you about the parable of the seed. I'm just being honest here with you guys. So my job as a servant of God is to implore you to come into Bible study. So come into Bible study. These are two very awesome studies. This one right here is going to be, if you think you know the armor of God, don't be so heady and high-minded, and consider that I have over 3 pages of scriptures that are going to pull out individual things like sword, armor, and to be ready for the spiritual warfare that we are in. Hit that like button to help the algorithm. Much love, and may God bless you.